Hi, Sydney. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this interview. This will be on my podcast, Advice I Need to Take, as well as my YouTube channel. And you're actually the first client that I am interviewing or past client, to get their experience. And this is not, I don't want you to think of it as a testimonial, but really, truly, what was your experience with coaching so that other women that follow me or find me can honestly see what the experience is like. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
So okay, good. So you can just go ahead and just introduce yourself however way you'd like, and then we'll get into the first question.
Okay, well, hello, my name is Sydnie Montgomery. I live in Dallas, Texas. I am the youngest and only daughter of three, and I am the traveler in my family. I like to go and see the world with my own eyes, and I love to experience life from a first person point of view. That doesn't mean I can't like take advice from people, but like I want to go see the pyramids. I want to go walk the Great Wall of China. I don't want to just look at images of them. I'm bookish. I love to read, write. I'm really into art. I want to be a full-time artist, so I am working towards making that dream happen. Professionally, in the past, I've been a teacher. I just recently quit my job. Before that, I was a multimedia graphics professional for 20-ish years, which means I made podcasts of my own. I've made movies. I've done videos, photography. I was a professional photographer there for a little bit. But I'm just into recording our stories as Black women and making art and making sure that our voices get heard.
Absolutely. And this is the time we want to hear your voice for sure. So I'll start off with my first question, which is,
Mm-hmm.
how did you decide that you wanted a coach?
Mm-hmm.
And then how did you find your coach? Like, where were you in life that you were like, I need to look for a coach?
Okay. So I was having a splendidly terrible week at work and came across was it like sabbatical? There was a conference with Stephanie and, oh shoot, I can't remember her other name.
In Rashida, it was the Exodus Summit.
Yes. Yes, the Exodus Summit. I came across that. Don't even know how it came across my timeline, whatever. I was like, ooh, and it was it was free. So I was like, I'm gonna sign up. And I was listening to some of the sessions there, and I had been thinking about taking a sabbatical for like 2 years, but doing that thing where we talk ourselves out of the thing we want to do because we've never seen anybody who looks like us do it. We give too much power to our fears instead of to our dreams. And I was like, well, what if it goes terribly? And going to the Exodus Summit and listening to all of the sessions and seeing all women who look like me doing a thing I wanted to do and also engaged in travel. And I was like, oh, I feel like I found my community. And like I said, I was having a splendidly terrible week at work. And I was like, I need to quit this job before I kill myself. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm jumping off the cliff. I'm taking the sabbatical. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to move overseas because I've wanted to do it literally since I was 22 and tried to make it work according to what other people who didn't look like me told me it should work. And it didn't. So it didn't happen. So now I'm like, you know what? Let me go make my own path. And yeah, that's essentially where I am. I was like, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it. And you were in one of the sessions and I was like, huh. And I believe you offered like a free 30-minute consultation.
Yeah.
And I was like, free is my favorite price. And I feel like in 30 minutes, you would give me a good feel of whether or not only is this something I could do, but this is something you could help me do. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and you pretty much said it very clearly. I want to do this thing, but I don't know how, and that's why a lot of people seek out resources, help, coaching, therapy,
mm-hmm,
whatever.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
you found me, thankfully,
mm-hmm.
or we found each other because we are birthday twins.
Yes,
um,
yes.
we found each other through the years, and there is obviously a price. There's an investment for coaching, and so
Mm-hmm,
how did you kind of grapple with that investment, if it was a grappling at all, and make the
mm-hmm.
decision to say, hey, I'm going to spend this money and invest in myself in this way? What was that thought process like for you?
So initially when we had our meeting and you told me the price, I was like, I'm out. I was like, I'm pretty resourceful. I'll figure it out. But the more I talked to friends and the more I thought about what I was getting in return, but also paying somebody what they're worth for what they do, it was worth it. And I was like, you know what? I have invested in degrees. I have invested in my profession. I have invested time and energy in relationships. I can do this thing for me and invest in myself to do this as a giant step I want to take. It's okay that I spend these resources on this thing because it's going to be worth it.
Absolutely. And I guess that leads to my next question. What were some of the things that you overcame during our coaching relationship, which was about 3 to 4 months long, and was
Mm-hmm.
it worth it?
It was completely worth it. So some obstacles I had to overcome. I'm not going to say thinking I couldn't do it, but like the fear, like giving your fear too much power. It was very much that voice in my head that was, well, you don't know anybody in your inner circle who has done this. How do you know it's going to be successful? And well, fat Black women don't do stuff like that, and you're a fat Black woman, so are you sure this is something you want to do? And really just giving um, way too much to my doubts as opposed to thinking about my power. And so when I was talking to a friend of mine about just goals and I was expressing to her like my doubt, she was like, Sydnie, you are one of the only people I know who every goal you have set out loud, you have completed. And I was like, oh, wait, what? And then so she listed off a bunch of different things that I told her I wanted to do that I had done since we'd known each other. And we've known each other like 10 years or so. And she was like, you did A, you did B, you did C, you did Z, you did X, you did D, you did all these things. And I was like, oh, you know what? You're right. If I put all my time and energy into, well, not all my time and energy, but if I put time and energy into it and I focus on it, I will get it done. So I don't have to listen to those doubts. I don't have to listen to those fears because they don't have power. I have the power to make the thing come true. So
Yes, you do. And
did that
you
answer the
really
question? I felt like I was kind of rambling.
no, I think you gave me what I was looking for. At least what I try to achieve with my clients is for them to be able to realize and reclaim the power that they have over their lives. And so in taking it from money, taking it from fear, taking it from other people's expectations, from
Mm-hmm.
our own expectations, and putting it back into ourselves and seeing what we're
Mm-hmm.
capable of and what we can achieve. And it's so funny, like my friends would say the same thing about me. Everything I said I wanted to do, I ended up doing it. Did I know it was going to be successful? No. But we're here. So, and some of it, and most of it was all successful. And I think
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that your friend said that. I see that in you, Sydnie. And so it just takes us seeing it in ourselves. And so I think my last question would be, how would you define life coaching or coaching? Because a lot of people, especially Black women, women of color, don't know really what to expect.
Mm.
And would you recommend coaching to someone and why?
Okay, what I think coaching is a conversation with yourself, but somebody else is doing the other half of the conversation instead of you just doing it in your head. And to help you think of the questions that you didn't think of, right? So I think one of the biggest obstacles is that we don't get out of our head to get things done. And having a coach, having you as my coach, help me think through all of those steps to get everything done and ask the questions out loud that I not so much was too afraid to say, but maybe didn't want to give voice to. But then ask me the questions I hadn't thought of, which becomes another piece to the puzzle of making it successful, right? Because if you ask the question, then I have to find an answer to it, which means that I will have a plan for when that thing happens. Now, will the plan always work? Maybe not. But if I already have a plan in place, then I have something I can do when that comes up. Um, and would I say it's worth it? Absolutely. If this is something you want to do in your life, you should definitely. And if you feel like you need the help, also, it's definitely worth the investment. We will invest in cars. We will invest in other people before we will invest in ourselves. And so I would absolutely say do it for yourself, and that you are worthy to invest in your own dreams of yourself. So often we will give our energy and our time away to other people and give them the words we should be saying to ourselves about how they're worthy and how they can achieve these things, and they have the power and they have the will and they have all this stuff, but we don't say it to ourselves. And it's like, why not? Are we not worthy of the same power and words and energy we're giving to others? Of course we are. We've just somehow talked ourselves out of feeling like we should pour back into ourselves. So this is part of that pouring back into yourself, giving yourself the things you need. That you're giving away so much of yourself. Give it to you. You're worthy to give it to you.
Right. It sounds like it's like in terms of it pouring in ourselves, it's also like what I like to say, a return to self. You
Mm,
after giving away much of your power, your time, your energy, your money, your identity to other people. I know we talked about that a lot, like releasing a whole bunch of the BS that people have given you. It's like you get to return to yourself within a coaching, program or coaching relationship. And then exactly what you're saying about the questions is like we don't know what we don't know. And so, we may have all the puzzle pieces there, but we don't even know we're missing a piece until our coach comes in and kind of asks us that
yeah.
question or asks us to do things in a certain way. So my
Hmm.
last question is, you said before you started coaching, you had a splendidly terrible week at work. Where are
Yeah.
you out? Where are you now? What is coming up next for you? And how can we continue to follow along your journey and hear your voice even more?
Okay. So right now I have quit my job. The school year ends next week, and it will be the last time I will be a teacher for a while. I'm thinking about continuing it when I move, but I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. um, my original financial goal of saving money, I have gone past that. Um, let's see, by how much percent? I'm trying to do quick math in my head. Quick maths. By a good 30%. So I've saved 30% more than my original goal. Um, and where I am now is I'm going to start traveling in July and do a lot of domestic travel. And then in August, I'm leaving the country for 3 months and gonna just tool around Europe and do that that summer in Europe I never got to do when I was a teenager. Just do
Right.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you. And that what you said, like you still had coaching and you're able to surpass your savings goals. So for those people who are like, oh, but I have financial goals, how can I spend money on invest in myself? It's possible to do both. Maybe not at the same time, but it is possible. And so I'm so proud of you, Sydnie. You're absolutely one of my favorite clients. I can't wait to follow your journeys in Europe and beyond, hopefully. So yeah, can we follow you on Instagram? Are you open to that? Or if not, that's totally fine too.
No, you can totally follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Sydnie M. My name is spelled SYDNIEM. You can follow me on Twitter, but I'm not gonna lie, I get kind of rowdy on Twitter.
Oh, I'm trying to follow you on Twitter.
And my Twitter handle is I am just Sid. So IAMJUSTSYD on
I will
Twitter.
absolutely be following you. I don't really market my Twitter a lot because I too as well become rowdy on Twitter. So that'll be a great way for us to connect.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your
Mhm.
time, Sydnie.
Yeah.
I look forward again, like I said, to your travels for you to finally realize this
Mhm.
dream that you've had for so long. And I'm just honored to have been able to be your coach.
No problem. Just one last thing I want to say is I love having conversations with locals. So if you ever see that I'm in your city or if you want to meet up with me, please hit me up. I would love to go for a drink and we could just talk about your favorite things about travel or about your city, and that would be awesome.
That is amazing because a lot of people are not like open that way, that they'll talk to locals or they'll talk to random people, and a lot of people are scared to engage with others. So the fact that you're inviting that energy, I know you're going to meet a lot of great people along the way.
I hope so. That would be amazing.
Good. After this, I want to talk about your domestic travels. So, because maybe we will cross paths and I get to meet you in person.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Now I know I said 12:30. I meant 12:30 my time, which is an hour from now.
Wow. Look at that. Well, I mean, I've gotten everything I need to know. Thanks so much. We're going to go ahead and end here. Thank you all for listening. And Sydnie, I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.